Crazies, man, you're in the lab. Lee here, and you see what's doing on Nut In today. That is right, 8 Simpson Mandela effects to blow your mind, make you question this reality. Now, before we do get this video, I want everybody to understand that Simpsons, you already know the Simpsons, they've been around from the 80s and still to this present day. They always up to date with pop culture, world events, even predicting the future. It is even crazier, some say they're part of the Illuminati. Well, the Mandela Effects and the Simpsons are one and all. The Simpsons usually never get hit by any kind of Mandela effects. You can usually always reference to the Simpsons to find evidence of these old Mandela effects. And well, that is the case today. That is what we're doing here. We are visiting some Mandela effects that the Simpsons got right, and with a Mandela effect from the Simpsons and one that got wrong. It is crazy. So please remember that some of these Mandela effects might not be new to you. They will be new to somebody else, so please respect that. Also remember, if you enjoyed this at any time, please remember to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, leave me those comments down below so we can talk about these Mandela effects, how you enjoyed the Simpson version of this, and if we should do other kind of cartoon Mandela effects like this too as well. So let's get this going. We're going to start off with actually Gallagher. Yes, Gallagher, the good old tool-wielding slammers, shamalas, doing all the fruit, the watermelon, and all that stuff. And this Mandela effect has to do with his suspenders. Yes, that's right. As you picture Gallagher himself, you picture him in his nice yellow shirt or green, white shirt, whatever shirt he's wearing at the time, with his black pants and his suspenders, right? Correct. But as you're seeing on the screen here, you see Gallagher with no suspenders at all. It blows my mind because all of us remember suspenders. Even Dave Chappelle even remembers Gallagher having suspenders. But it's not like that anymore. But The Simpsons, once again, always shows you the truth. Check it out.
My melon.
Nothing like seeing Gallagher the way all our memories remember, with the great suspenders on him. Yes. Oh, it is iconic. The Simpsons are a wonderful place. They always show the right all the time, and it is amazing that they really don't get hit by this Mandela effect. I remember Gallagher being that way, having the suspenders, but how do you remember it? No suspenders or suspenders like the Simpsons remember?
B.O. problem. B.O. problem. Come on, guys. Do I have a B.O. problem here? You sure do.
This one is one of those classic Mandela effects, probably one of the top 10 Mandela effects of all time. And I'm talking about Wizard of Oz and Fly My Pretties. That is correct. Fly My Pretties. We all know this Mandela effect that no longer does the Wicked Witch say, fly my pretties. And if you don't believe me, here, listen.
I don't care of those ruby zippers. I want those most of all. Now fly! Fly!
Fly, 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 fly. Never fly my pretties. Blows my mind because millions of us remember Fly My Pretties. But guess what? The Simpsons, once again, proves that our memories are right. Check it out.
We'll just see about that. Fly, my pretties, fly!
Fly, my pretties, fly, my pretties, fly, fly. Good old Mr. Burns right there telling his flock of monkeys to fly, my pretties, fly.
Fine. My butt reach.
This next one has to do with the opening scene, the opening intro of The Simpsons. There's so many intros of The Simpsons, but they're all the same. And this one has to do with Lisa particularly. Yes, that is correct. I did say that there would be a Mandela effect in The Simpsons, and this is it right here. I am going to play you the opening scene. Here you go. Now, did you notice Lisa's saxophone? Did you notice saxophone? What color was the saxophone? Yeah, you see it. Saxophone was gray, right? Gray. It's gray in there, all that. It's gray. That is correct. You saw it right. It is gray. But the Mandela effect in my memory and many other memories is that her saxophone was never gray. It was gold. Like this. Gold. That is how I remember her saxophone. Now, I did go through many intros of this so I could make sure I was completely correct or not losing my mind, and that it was gray there and it's gold here. And literally, there's only like one or two that are gold anymore. They're all gray. It is all gray. I remember her saxophone being gold like you saw. That's how I remember. How do you remember Lisa's saxophone? Has it always been gold in my mind, in our reality? Or is it like it's always been in this reality? Gray.
Telegram for Hey, would you cuddle me? Hey, would you cuddle me? Big guy in the back. Hey, would you cuddle me?
Yes, we are talking about the good old classic Road Runner. Yes, the Road Runner, the Coyote. Coyote can never get this bad boy, and it's just too fast for him. It's just too fast for him. And then iconic phrase that the Road Runner does: beep beep, beep beep, beep beep, like you hear right here. Listen. Wait a minute, Lee. Did you say beep beep, beep beep? Yeah, beep beep, beep beep. But Lee, in the video you showed, it said meep meep, meep meep, meep meep, meep meep, meep meep, meep meep. That is correct. You heard meep meep. That is correct. That is correct. The only reason why I showed that because you saw the little ticker at the top that said beep beep. It is correct. There's pictures. There's apps. All this stuff that says beep beep, beep beep. And it blows my mind because all of us remember beep beep and not meep meep. And so we go to The Simpsons on this one. And The Simpsons, well, let's say hit with the Mandela Effect as well.
What'd you get to be so good?
Oh, just experience, I suppose. I started out as Roadrunner.
Meep. You mean meep meep?
No, they only paid me to say it once, then they doubled it up on the soundtrack.
You heard it right. You saw it right. Meep meep. That is correct. Meep meep. The Simpsons got hit on this one. I do believe that. I know many people would say, well, that's what he said, but in my reality, many other realities, memes realities, posters, all this realities, books realities, it was always beep beep. And The Simpsons got hit with the meep meep. It blows my mind because, just like I said, The Simpsons usually never get hit by the Mandela Effect. But how do you remember Roadrunner? Do you always remember it being beep beep? Or do you remember it like the way it is now? Meep meep.
Ooh, a text. Let's see. Text message for I am a wiener. As you can all see, I am a wiener.
This one has to do with the good old Lost in Space robot. That is right, Robot himself. And that iconic line he says, "Danger, Will Robinson, danger. Danger, Will Robinson, danger." Yes, that's correct. Danger, danger. And I'm going to shout out Hazel on this, for Hazel for this one, because I had to take a little bit of his videos because he had a nice little combination of the robot himself. So here, look at this.
Danger, Will Robinson.
Pour me a slice, Will Robinson. Danger! Danger!
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger!
Danger! Danger, Will Robinson.
Danger! Danger, Will Robinson.
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 Danger, Will Robinson. Danger!
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger, no, Will Robinson.
Now, thank you to him for that. I do appreciate that, and his research on that too as well. With that said, you heard two different things. You heard Danger, Will Robinson, and you heard Danger, Will Robinson. Danger, danger. The ring about this one is that he doesn't flap his arms anymore, and the whole phrase danger, danger. It does blow my mind. I do remember it when I watched the Lost in Space movie with the other robot back, what was it, 90s? And it was Danger, Will Robinson, danger, danger. And it blows my mind. And, well, The Simpsons might be able to help all of us on this one.
If you'd care to meet me later in the food court. Danger, danger, Bart Simpson. If you'd care to meet me later in the food court. Danger, danger, Bart Simpson.
As you see it right there, he says danger, danger. You know, he puts the double danger on it. And that's kind of how I remember it too. I remember it both ways. That's another thing about this phenomenon of the Mandela Effect. You can have memories of both realities. And it can make no sense in your mind, but that's the way it was. That's how I remember it. Danger, Will Robinson, danger, danger. But how do you remember it? Has it always been the double Danger Will Robinson and his arms wiggling in the air? Or is it in this reality where he just stays basically still and says Danger Will Robinson? Danger.
Ivana?
Ivana Tinkle. Just a sec. Ivana Tinkle. Ivana Tinkle. All right, everybody put down your glasses. Ivana Tinkle.
You gotta catch 'em all, that's right. Pokemon! I don't know if that's the song or not, but we are talking about Pokemon, and we're talking about Pikachu and his wonderful, wonderful tail that has been changed and continues to get changed, it looks like. And we're talking about that iconic little black line or lightning bolt that was on the back of Pikachu's tail. Like I said, was on the back of Pikachu's tail because it's not there anymore. His tail is basically all yellow, and then in the little bottom, it's brown. Some say now it's black too, black or brown, give or take which one. And I always remember the tip of his tail being black. I even kind of remember a little lightning bolt too as well. And it blows my mind that it never was that at all. It's crazy. You see all of those marching Pikachus. But The Simpsons, once again, shows you the real reality. Take a look.
Pokemon.
Oh, good old Maggie with the tail, with the Pikachu tail with the black tip on it. That is correct. Then you saw another scene that his tail wasn't black anymore, which is odd because that was the same thing too as well. It blows my mind, the same show, and it blows my mind because just like many of us Pikachu fans, Pokemon fans, because we all wanted to catch them all, Pikachu's tail always had that black tip. But in this reality, the way it is now, he never did, never had. That black tip at the top of his tail never existed in this reality. But what is your reality? Was it a black tip at the top of his tail? Or was it plain the way it is now?
I shall inquire. Is there a Mr. My friend Sergey? First name Olaf. Attention everyone. All of my friends are gay.
Oh, one of those wonderful, great songs from the Beatles, Yellow Submarine. It is actually one of my great songs, one of the good songs to listen to under a psychedelic experience, under a journey in a meditation state, because you feel like you are part of the Yellow Submarine. You're flying, you're underneath the ocean, going and diving and dipping. But this has to do with the color of the Yellow Submarine. As you see in right here, the video of Yellow Submarine, you see the submarine, how it looks now, how it kind of often not so yellowish no more. It's got a little white, a little bit of purple in it too as well, and it blows my mind. Even the pictures of the Yellow Submarine look so odd, so weird, because a lot of us remember the Yellow Submarine being fully yellow. A little bit of orange, but fully yellow all the way around, not with the white window at the top. And it just looks really just kind of plain in a way now. It blows my mind. And well, again, as always, we're going back to The Simpsons for the true reality of the Yellow Submarine. Enjoy.
Well, well, well. It's like a cup.
As you see, they were hiding in the Yellow Submarine. That is correct. That is correct. No, you did hear the monkey's joke, but it was a Yellow Submarine. Bart and Milhouse was trying to hide behind the Yellow Submarine. That is exactly how I remember that submarine looking. That is how I always remember that submarine looking, because it was that way. That's how it was to me. But how do you remember the Beatles' Yellow Submarine, the submarine? Was it always the way it is now? The way you see it right here with a little bit of white window and just looks kind of just odd and plain to myself? Or do you remember it the way the Simpsons do, the way you kind of see it right here, yellowish?
I got a Drew P. Wiener here. Anyone expecting a Drew P. Wiener? I hold in my hand a Drew P. Wiener.
Better put it down then, mate.
Ooh, the last one for the day. We are going to good old Crocodile Dundee. Yes, Crocodile Dundee, and that famous line he tells that boy about his knife because he didn't have a knife. And that great old iconic phrase, I call that a knife. This is a knife. Well, listen to the original.
What for?
He's got a knife.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
You call that a knife? That's a knife. That's a knife. It's just like, what? I know it's a knife. I know. It's supposed to be, this is a knife. This is a knife. That's not a knife. This is a knife. That's how I remember it. And, well, you know what? Guess what? This is a Simpson thing, a Simpson Mandela effect, and why not would I not put a Simpson reference to This Is a Knife?
You call that a knife? This is a knife.
That's not a knife, that's a spoon.
All right, you win. I'll see
That's
you.
not a knife. This is a knife. Well, a spoon, he said in there, but that is exactly how we all remember it. Why would the Simpsons get all that right if it has never been that way? If it has never been, this is a knife, then why does he say, this is a knife? Since it's always been, that's a knife. It blows my mind away. How do you remember this one? Has it always been like it is in this reality? That's a knife. Or has it been like it is? Walt Disney itself, one of the most recognizable brands worldwide. There probably isn't a single soul on this planet who doesn't know who Disney is itself. Everybody grew up on this, growing up on this, and will be growing up on some kind of Disney affair. No matter what it is, you will recognize Disney somewhere else in your life, pastime, others us. It's just what it is. They have entertained the masses for years and years and years. And you saw that title right, ladies and gentlemen. We are talking about Mandela Effects in Disney. 8 Disney Mandela Effects to blow your mind. So remember that some of these Mandela Effects might not be new to you. They will be new to somebody else, so please respect that. And at any time you enjoyed this, please remember to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and leave me your comments down below. And by the way, I am Lee. I'm your host for this one, and we are going down. We're starting off with Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell, 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 and that iconic thing Tinkerbell used to do in her openings, in the opening of Disney movies. As you're seeing a little bit of all this go across your screen right now, does any of that look right to you? Does any of those Disney intros look right to you? Well, if you're saying yes, well, you're right. You're right in this reality, this timeline, this plane of existence. You're right. That is the way it has always been, always has been. Most people, and many myself, remember Tinkerbell coming around, going in, doing a Disney thing, dotting the I, coming up to the screen. And I'm showing you it right here, right now. This is actually was a computer-generated, edited version of this, and how the original way we remember Tinkerbell introduced in Disney movies. It blows my mind because you can't find this exact one anywhere. It never was made, it never was around, it never has ever happened, and thank God somebody actually used a computer to actually remake this, and that is exactly how I remember. Dotting the I, sitting right there, and then she flies off. But how do you remember Tinkerbell and Walt Disney's opening in most of his movies? Do you always remember her just the little spark going around, star going around, a little ding, 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 ding without Tink? Or do you remember Tink all the way?
That's it.
Cruella de Vil, Cruella de Vil, if she doesn't scare you.
Cruella de Vil, that's what she is, Cruella de Vil. And we're talking about 101 Dalmatians, and we could actually do 2 right here if you want to. Actually, first one, we could actually start off with Cruella de Vil, and the way she is spelled, how she spells her name. Look at her name right here, de Vil, de Vil, de Vil. Does that look right to you? If it does, if it's spelled the way it is, look right to you, because that is the way I remember it. I remember that way. Many people remember that way, being in Deville, not Deville, the way you see it right here. Kind of crazy. But the real Mandela effect on this one is her jacket, her coat, her fur coat that she has, her puppy coat. Many of us remember that jacket having dots, like the Dalmatians dots. And unfortunately, it has never been that way. She's never had any Dalmatian dots on the jacket. She's never, ever, ever, ever had it that way. But why do we remember the dots on the jacket? Why is there pictures of the dots on her jacket if she never had the Dalmatian spots, dots, or whatever you want to call it on her jacket? Blows me away. Makes me wonder about this reality sometimes. Witchcraft, CERN, multiple realities, who knows? But how do you remember the 100 Dalmatians? And Cruella de Vil herself, do you always remember her name being spelt Deville? Or the way you see it now, Deville? Or do you remember the jacket having the spots? Like I remember, or has it always not had the spot.
Cocktail wieners! This calls for a toast.
Woohoo! Mickey! Yes, Mickey Mouse, iconic, mascot of Disney himself, and it is Mickey Mouse. And Mickey Mouse and his attire. Now, take a look of this picture right here of Mickey. Mickey look right to you, don't he? Don't he look right to you, don't he? He's got his wonderful suspenders, he's got his buttons, he's got his little shirt. He looks like Mickey Mouse. But if I told you that you are completely wrong, that Mickey never had suspenders, well, you're gonna look at me crazy because I'm about to show you exactly how Mickey looks right there. Mickey has no suspenders. You can look it up, no suspenders on Mickey Mouse at all. Blows me away, because if you go on the other end of the lookup of Mickey Mouse and you put suspenders in, you see a lot of residue, a lot of pictures with Mickey Mouse with his suspenders. I always remember him with suspenders. He always had the suspenders. That's what the freaking buttons were for on his shorts or pants or whatever you want to call it. And that's exactly what it was. He had suspenders. But not in this reality. Never, ever, 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 ever in this reality has he ever had suspenders. Blows me away. But how do you remember Mickey Mouse and himself and his wonderful attire and his suspenders? Did he always have suspenders? Or did he always not have suspenders? Let me know. I'm Tarzan! Yes, we are talking about Tarzan. Yes. Tarzan, and that iconic phrase we all remember, we all say to this day when we see somebody we know or we do know that, and we know what I'm talking about. You Jane, me Tarzan. Or you can reverse it, me Tarzan, you Jane. Right? But what if I told you that never said that? That line, either way you want to put it, was never said that way at all. Even in the original version, even in the Disney version. And if you don't believe me, well, here you go.
Jane. Tarzan. Jane. Tarzan. Jane. Tarzan. Jane. Tarzan. Jane. Tarzan.
Jane. No. Jane. Tarzan. Jane.
Gave you two versions of that, and each one you heard. Jane. Tarzan. Jane. Tarzan. Never, you Jane. I Tarzan. Or I Tarzan, you Jane. Never said it. That phrase has never been said at all, and it is weird. It blows me away. It blows a lot of us away, because where the hell do we get me Tarzan, you Jane, me Tarzan? Where do we get that from if it has never been said in this eternity of eternities? But you let me know that. Has it always been the way you saw it? Jane, Tarzan. Or are you like me and many others? You Jane, me Tarzan.
I was just wondering.
Oh, that's quite all right. One moment, please.
Oh, nothing like jumping down some rabbit holes, trying to find the white rabbit, chasing the Mad Hatter, get the freaking kingdom away from the Red Queen. And well, we are talking about Alice in Wonderland and the Chester the Cat, that is right. And that iconic saying that we all remember, we are all mad here. That is correct. We are all mad here. Yes, in this thing, raised, this reality, this timeline we are at. We all seem to be mad in this place right now, but it has never been we are all mad here. Listen.
Go among mad people.
Oh, you can't help that. Most everyone's mad here.
Most everyone is mad here. What? Most everyone mad here? Oh, everyone is mad here? Are you freaking blowing my mind on this? It destroys me still to this day. It blows me, because there is just so much evidence of it saying we're all mad here. And you are now telling me that these people that have quoted this line for years, got tattoos, memes, stickers, books, everything, are telling me that it was never we are mad here. It's always been most everyone is mad here. I think I'm going mad, because I don't know what timeline, what reality that we are living on in this essence of space, if you want to call it. But how do you remember it? Do you always remember it the way I remember it? And most of us, million of Disney fans remember it. We're all bad here. Or do you remember it the way it is now in this day and age? Almost everyone's mad here.
Let me see thy face.
This one's one of those another classic Mandela effects, and it has to do exactly with the mirror. Yes, yes, yes. The good old famous mirror, or the magic mirror that was on the wall that told the queen or the mean evil witch or whoever you want to call her that she was the fairest of them all. Now we all know this line to be mirror, mirror on the wall. But it has never been mirror, mirror on the wall. Listen.
Magic mirror on the wall.
That's right. Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest of them all? Well, I don't know, because maybe I'm Chester the Cat, because I am now gone mad. I think we're all mad here now. A little bit of crazy, because it was never magic mirror on the wall. It was always mirror, mirror on the wall. And I have a little bit of evidence, and I'm going to the original children's book of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Here, take a look.
Okay, I found this book at a thrift store. See if it has magic mirror or mirror, mirror. Let's see. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest one of all?
Because look, it says mirror, mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest of them all? Books don't lie. That was written for the movie, and it is so true. That is how I remember it. That's how millions of us remember it. Mirror, mirror on the wall. But tell me, how do you remember it? Has it always been the way it is in this reality, this time now, this plane of existence, magic mirror on the wall? Or just like myself and many others, mirror, mirror on the wall?
Bambi, come here.
Flower. My name is Flower. And Thumper. I lose my mind, I know. We're talking about Bambi, that is correct. Bambi, Bambi, Bambi. And, well, when did Bambi's mother die? When did Bambi's mother die in the movie? Answer that for me real quick as you're doing it. As you're sitting there, before I shock and blow your mind and just ruin your whole little aspect of what that is. Well, if you're saying she died in the beginning of the movie, Lee, Bambi's mom died in the beginning of the movie. Well, you're wrong. You're completely wrong, just like I was wrong. Bambi's mom never died in the beginning of the movie. Bambi's mom died in the middle of the movie. She was shot in the middle of the movie, kind of at the 45-ish mark point of the movie, as you see right here. It's weird. It blows my mind, because not just myself, not just a million others remember Bambi's mom dying in the beginning, but even Kanye West himself remembers Bambi's mom dying in the beginning. Listen.
With Pixar films and Disney films, they make Bambi's mom die in the beginning.
Yeezy, you know it already. Told you, even he remembers Bambi dying in the beginning of the movie. So if Bambi's mom only died in the middle of the movie, why do so many of us have this memory, this vision, this core deep sense that his mother passed away, got shot in the beginning of the movie? Blows me away. But how do you remember? Did Bambi's mom die in the middle of the movie the way it is now in this reality? Or you are like me, or like Kanye West, or like the millions of others in this world that remembers Bambi's mom's dying in the beginning of the movie?
To infinity and beyond!
That's not flying, that's falling with style. What are you talking about? Yes, Toy Story. I love Toy Story. One of the greatest movies of all time, too, as well. It's just, it makes you imagine and go back to your childhood to where you believe that your toys were real. They were alive. Well, this one has to do with Woody himself and that snake in his damn boot that he has. Yes, yes, yes. There's a snake in my boot. That is correct. Well, what if I told you there's just not a snake in his boot? Listen.
There's a snake in my boot. There's a snake in my boot.
There's a snake in my boots. That is right. There's a snake in my boots. There's a snake in my boots. Blows me away. Never boots. So now there should be, there's snakes in my boots, if that's the way it's supposed to be now. If you're going to add plural for the boots and two, you got to add another snake, right? Correct? That makes sense to me. So it should be snakes in boots. But no, in my reality, it was always there's a snake in my boot. But don't take my word for it. Take the Disney-produced toy pull string that will tell you exactly the way it was. Listen.
There's a snake in my boot. There's a snake in my boot.
There's a snake in my boot. There's a snake in my boot. You damn right there's a snake in your boot, because you only had one snake in two boots and it had to be in one of the boots all day long. But how do you remember that? Has it always been the way it is now in this reality? There's a snake in my boots? Or are you like me and many of us, even the Woody toy made and produced by Disney themselves, there's a snake in my boot? Oh. Crazies, man. What's doing your nutting? I'm Lee, you're in the lab, and you saw that title too as well. We are talking about 8 music Mandela effects to blow your mind, make you boggle your reality, question everything that we recite in, maybe flip you into another parallel universe. Yes, that is right, 8 music Mandela effects. I'm going to start this series about how, like, let's do music, movies, entertainment, that kind of thing, kind of Mandela effect kind of ways to kind of switch it up a tad bit. With that too said, if you've been seeing any of those shorts I've been showing lately, it's kind of going to give you an idea of what we're going to be jumping down to as well. Don't forget to check out the TikTok videos too. That gives you an idea of what we are really going on. But really that has nothing to do with today, because we are talking about 8 music Mandela effects all day long. Please remember that some of these Mandela effects might not be new to you. They will be new to somebody else, so please respect that. As well, if you like this at any time, this enjoys you, it intrigues you, and sparks your mind, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe and leave me your comments down below so we can talk about these and others that you would love to talk to. So let me stop talking about all this and let's get to it, man. We're going to start off with actually the Beatles. The Beatles. And actually, got a couple of them, but we're only going to do one today. And I'm talking about the Yellow Submarine. That is correct, the Yellow Submarine. As you see a picture right there, the Yellow Submarine. How's that look? Does that look right to you? Yep, it looks right to me. A yellow submarine. That is correct. That's what it looks like. But in this reality, it is not that color anymore. Yes, it's still yellow, but it's got a whole bunch of other different stuff on it now too. Take a look at this. As you see that right there, it has orange. It's got more white on it. It's not a complete yellow submarine at all anymore. I always remember it being fully yellow, had some of the stuff on it, but not all decorated like that. I think that is just bonkers. And you know, as you're seeing some of the residual evidence of the Yellow Submarine in different shows and stuff, I used to work at Big Kahuna's in Destin, Florida, and there is a yellow submarine up there by the kiddie pool going around the lazy thing. And that's what you see right here, and it's a yellow submarine. But how do you remember the Beatles and the Yellow Submarine? Has it always looked yellow like this to you your whole entire life? And that's what it always will be? Or do you remember it like it is in this reality? Yellow Submarine. Oh, we are talking about the village people, 'cause you got to give me a YMCA. Yeah, and we are talking about how many group members are in the village people. That's right. How many people? How many people? How many people? Tell me, ladies and gentlemen. Tell me. If you are saying there are 5 of them there, well, guess what? You are correct in your old reality that you used to live in, because just like myself, I always thought there was 5 members only in it too. It's just that's how freaking music groups work, don't it? Has the most. It's either 4 or 5. But in this reality, it is 6 members in there. It's wild to me. It blows my mind. The army guy blows my mind, to be precise, because I don't remember him ever being in the army suit just like that. It blows my mind. I know some people might be thinking he's always been there, and it's crazy to make me think that too as well, because I don't remember that. I don't remember that, dude. And it blows my mind. But how do you remember the Village People? Have there always been 6 members in the group the entire existence of their assistants? Or are you like me and many others, believe it's always been 5?
All the single ladies, all the single ladies,
Oh, yes, we are talking about the Beehive, the Miss Beyonce Knowles herself. And we're actually talking about that video I'm doing, Single Ladies, or Put a Ring on It, excuse me. And the extra clothing item that is in this video. As you see in the video right here, do you always remember that glove being on her hand when she's doing the Do you always remember that glove? If you're saying yes, well, you're in this reality. I guess in this reality, she has always had that glove on her hand when she's doing gotta put a ring on it. It's always been on her hand. But there are many of us, including myself, that remember her just having a bare hand. There was no glove on her hand when she was doing that. Because you gotta think, MTV was still around showing music videos, and it was the B. You couldn't do anything. There was no glove on that hand. There was no Michael glove or nothing like that on her hand, and it blows my mind, because as you see, it's always had a glove. There's always been a glove on her hand. They put a glove and a ring on her hand because she don't have a ring on it. Because it blows my mind. But how do you remember this? Do you always remember that scene, that Beyonce having that glove on her hand and put a ring on it? Or do you remember her hand being plain naked like I do? I love rock and roll. Put another dime in the jukebox, baby. Sorry, got in my 80s rock vibe there for you. Yes, we're talking about Joan Jett, and we're talking about I Love Rock and Roll, and we're talking about the first verse in this song. Now, you picture this in your head. You see the video. You see her opening the door, got her fuzzy hair all going, got her leather jacket on, and she walks in, and she sees him. What? By the record machine? What do you think it is? What is it? Say it to yourselves as you watch this.
by the record machine.
I saw him there dancing by the record machine. Dancing by the record machine. In my reality, it was always standing by the record machine, because as you see in the video, he's standing there. He is standing by the jukebox. He's standing by the record machine. It was never dancing by the record machine. I mean, if you want to maybe call the sway, whatever it is, but never dancing. Always in my life, it was. I saw him there standing by the record machine. Couldn't look more than over 18, something like that. But how do you remember this one? Has it always, like, it's been in this reality, dancing by the record machine? Or is it like me, or like others? Do you remember it always being, I saw him there standing by the record machine? Now, you know me, I would never, ever put a music countdown on here without Michael fucking Jackson. You right, you know me. I am the biggest Michael Jackson fan in the entire world. Maybe not in the entire world, because I know we all could say that, because we all love Michael Jackson. And we are talking about the great freaking Mandela Effect of one of his songs, Smooth Criminal himself. You're right, I love it. Oh, everybody enjoys it. Everybody has redone it. And, well, you know this one. If you don't, there's a verse in Smooth Criminal where it is, you've been hit by, you've been struck by a smooth criminal. well, it's not that way anymore. Listen to this.
You've been hit by a smooth criminal.
You've been hit by, you've been hit by. You've been hit by, you've been hit by. Yes, it is that. Yes, I do understand that in the second part he does say hit by, struck by. I know. Yes, I'm breaking in again with another breaking news in this. As I was editing this one too as well, I noticed that the second time now that he's supposed to say you were hit by, you were struck by, has now completely changed back. It has flipped back, forth and forth to back. It is now again hit by, hit by. Listen.
You've been hit by a smooth criminal.
You see it now. The second time he says hit by, struck by is now hit by, hit by. That is the scene. That is the part he does it. Hit by, hit by. He's on the stairs. Now it is hit by, hit by. Struck by has never been sung in this song before. It is blowing my mind. Another flip-flop. As I'm editing this video, it is outrageous. It blows my mind, but I'm going to send you back to your regular scheduled program. Enjoy.
A few moments later.
As well. Even that one has flipped back and forth now and then. But he has always in the first time said it, because that's the first time you hear it. You've been hit by, you've been struck by a smooth criminal. And that's how I remember. But I'm not the only one that remembers it that way, because it has been sung by so many other people and reenact so many people. Well, don't speak for them. Listen.
You okay, and you've been hit by, you've been struck by a smooth criminal.
See, but also with that, I know we could also varies from different from the movie, the video version, and his concert versions. And we could argue this all day long, but in my reality, in many realities, Michael Jacksoners all around the world, it was always, you were hit by, you were struck by. But what has it always been for you? Hit by, or hit by, struck by? Let me know.
I've done my sentence, but committed no crime.
And we'll keep on fighting till the end. We are the champions. We are the champions. No time for losers, 'cause we are the champions of the world. Or is it the world? You already know this Mandela Effect. This is probably one of the biggest music Mandela Effects there is around today. And it is literally what I just said at the end of that verse, at the end of this song. Was it always there? Here, listen.
We are the champions.
Apparently we're not champions of the world anymore, because it is never there. It was never there. It's never there. It was never there on the freaking radio version, album version. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I know it was never there. Never there. It always has been on the live version. He only did it live when he was at the concert. Only did it live and live and live. I know, yada, 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 all that bullshit. We already heard that. But how can so many people like myself remember the end of that song being of the world? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make all of us in this world misremembering something like that. That is some BS. And you know, you can say our memories are bad because we're regular people, but what about this?
Thank you. Champions. We are the champions. No time for losers, 'cause we are the champions
of the world.
Does he not do it of the world? I always thought he did it of the world.
Crazy.
I really should have. That's really rough, man.
waiting.
We were all in the zone there, though, guys.
We were loaded. It was like.
You got celebrities doing it. Celebrities are even shocked that it doesn't do end of the world anymore. What? You know, people cannot argue what this is. This is like the Sinbad Mandela effect for music. This is what it is. That is exactly what it is. But enough of me getting riled up. How do you always remember to freaking We Are the Champions in your head, always in your entire life and existence of your memory? Was it always at the end of the world, or was it really nothing of the world? Don't stop believing, yeah. Oh, gotta love Journey, man. What a great song, classic song. That is like, you know, the karaoke song of the world. Technically, everybody sings that damn song. And we are talking about that verse, yes, 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 where she took the midnight train. That is correct. You heard me say the phrase right. You heard me say my mind right. Just like many of us said that she took the midnight train. Well, listen to this.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere.
She's just a small town girl living in a lonely world. He took the midnight train going anywhere. He took. So we were just talking about her being a lonely girl, but then flipped over to she took the midnight train going anywhere. That makes no sense. What, she's supposed to get on it, not he get on it? That is correct. That is what you heard. That is right. And then I think about this Mandela effect, since how long it's going out, and since, you know, and Moneybags talking about how we hear what we want to hear. And I could put this to it. I have to put that in that category for it, because in my book, it was always she took. She took the midnight train. Never was he took, because the next one is he took the midnight train, because he's talking about he. But I do see where we can mishear things and maybe hear it in our mind and perceive it for what it is. Definitely all the way on that. And you know, this is one of those, a phenomenon within the Mandela effect thing as it goes on with it. But how do you remember that song? Remember that part? You know, she took the midnight train when she's talking about the first verse. You know, she's just a lonely girl. Or was it always for you, he? And was it one, and is it one of those hear what you hear kind of phenomenon, Mandela effect? We got to put a name to that. We really do, don't we? Oops, I did it again. You're breaking my heart. Oh yes, we were talking about Britney Spears. We just went to basically an auditorial Mandela effect from the journey to now kind of a visual Mandela effect. Yes, and we were talking about Britney Spears. Oops, I did it again video. And the missing piece of equipment here. Wow. Well, if you didn't notice what was missing in this video, missing from her attire, take a look at these dolls, these action figures, whatever you would love to call them, the replicas of Britney Spears in the Oops, I Did It Again video dolls. And do you see a piece of equipment that belongs on the head that is missing from this video? That is correct. You do see the headpiece, the microphone, that is no longer in the Oops, I Did It Again video. If it was never in the video, why would it be in the toy that they produced, mass produced, if she didn't wear one? Questioned all day long. Britney Spears rocked with it. How do you remember this? Because even Lindsay McGuire, you already know, Hilary Duff, even did something about that too as well. Wow.
Ooh, the halter with the bare midriff. Oh, and my black hip huggers. It'd be so Oops, I Did It Again.
Well, Disney got it right, didn't it? And Britney worked for Disney, so you telling me that's all the evidence you should need for this one. I always remember the microphone being there. It was never not there for me in my reality. Well, now it is because I'm in this reality. But for you, do you always remember the microphone with Britney and oops, I did it again? Or do you remember the video the way it is now and always has been without the microphone?
And may the Force be with you.
The Force be with you.
May 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 the Force be with us all.
May the Force be with us.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you, Master.
And may the Force be with us.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with us.
May the Force be with you. May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you. Always.
May the Force be with you.
May the 4th be with you, my crazies. Y'all are back in the lab. Lee here. Y'all saw that title too as well. That is right. May the 4th be with you. Mandela Effects all the way. Star Wars Mandela Effects to get precise. So, man, I hope y'all enjoyed this. I love Star Wars just like many generations of fans just like myself love Star Wars, and we have seen every Star Wars probably so many different times. And if you don't know what Star Wars is or never heard of Star Wars, well, this is a great video for you because you're about to learn some Mandela effects before you go watch these movies, but then you've been living under a rock too as well. A little thing about Star Wars is basically stories of, I would say, biblical characters, Bible stories, Buddhas, all that stuff, but it's more of a spiritual story in a sense of energy. So keep that too in your mind as well. So before we do get this started, y'all remember to hit the thumbs up button. Y'all remember to subscribe. And y'all remember to leave your comments down below so we can talk about these Star Wars Mandela Effects and others you would love to discuss on this channel. So let's go ahead and get this rolling real quick, and we're going to go off with the most memorable one of the ones of all Star Wars Mandela Effects, and we're talking about Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker. Luke, I am your father is one of the biggest, apparently now misinterpreted lines of all time. Now in our world, many worlds, it's always been Luke, I am your father. But in this reality, it's not. Listen.
He told me you killed him. No. I am your father.
No. I am your father. No! And that is right. That's what he says. VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, freaking Laserdisc, theatrical. He has always said it has always been, no, I am your father. Never Luke, I am your father. And there's so much evidence about it. James Earl Jones, even Luke Skywalker himself saying it. There's even the toy that they produced even says, Luke, I am your father. How you remember that one? That is right. We're going to be talking about Leia, Princess Leia herself, and that scene that you saw. And as we go through this scene, I'm talking about her footwear, her shoes. Now, look at her shoes right there. Does that look right to you? Does that look right? Where did she get Uggs from? Where did the Uggs come from in this reality or in that reality or whatever reality we decide to reside in? Where did the Uggs come from? That blows my mind. You think I'm playing my mind? I'm playing you this thing through here. You see, they're Uggs. They're Uggs. Now, in my reality and million of Star fan Princess Leia's sexy ass world, we remember Princess Leia wearing those lace shoes, kind of like those, Cleopatra lace kind of shoes or slippers. But I guess that's never the case because it's always been those Uggs, those gray Uggs that look so weird and even kind of just so updated for that time. I don't know how to explain that, but it blows me away because I always remember the laces, kind of like the string lace, you know what I'm talking about, and never the Uggs. But how do you remember that? Were they always Uggs, or were they like the string lace Cleopatra slipper things? Let me know.
The Emperor's Wayfinder is in the Imperial Vault.
At Delta 3 Station.
Oh, Master Luke, something happened to my leg. And yes, we're talking about CP3O and that infamous silver leg. Now, just like me and many people when we first saw this original one, we don't remember CP3O having a silver leg, as you see right here. It's really weird. It's really odd that his whole body is gold, but he has that silver leg there. And that is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Now, it's odd in a sense of then. Through this whole reality of mine until I saw the latest movie, his leg, and it's always been gold. It's always been gold in my reality, except right there and there, you see that silver leg. But as I was watching The Rise of Skywalker and under a psychedelic experience, there's a part of the scene where actually they're running through the star base or whatever you want to call it to go back to the Millennium Falcon, and there's a point where they go up to CP3O and he looks silver. His chest is silver and he has a silver arm. It's weird. And I was thinking maybe that's kind of a phase of waves of energy or time. You know what I mean, a frequency of how we see it and perceive things. But in my mind and in the original, CP3O never had a silver leg. It was always gold in my reality. But what is your reality? Was it silver or was it always gold? Oh, these are one of the classic one of these, man. The Return of the Sith, or if you really want to dig deep into it, The Revenge of the Sith. And we're talking about the great Empress Palpatine. And the scene where they're all in the stadium, Empress Sith, the Sith is talking, everybody talking about they're about to go get the rebels and all this other stuff. And there's a scene of where Empress Palpatine says, "So this is how democracy dies." Well, that's not the case anymore.
So this is how liberty dies. With thunderous applause.
So this is how liberty dies. Never in my reality. It was always, this is how democracy dies. And that's how I remember this one. And it's crazy to me that now it's how liberty dies. Just because, for all of us that do live in the United States of America, we have the Statue of Liberty. We are called liberty. In a sense, it kind of throws off to where this Mandela effect and the meaning of this Mandela effect. So this is how liberty dies kind of makes an eerie feeling and sense of, well, now they're talking about the U.S. This is where this Mandela effect is now talking about liberty, Lady Liberty. And, from democracy to liberty blows me away. There's even memes that says, so this is how democracy dies. But it's never been that way. It's always been liberty. But how has it always been in your mind? Let me know.
I've been waiting for you.
Oh, another iconic scene in A New Hope. And it's when Obi-Wan Kenobi is facing off with Darth Vader himself. And their lightsaber and the scene and where Luke runs up and Obi-Wan looks at Luke and Obi-Wan pulls up his lightsaber and, well, take a look at this scene.
Ben?
Like I said and left off, he pulls his lightsaber off, and then Darth swipes him, kills him. But in my reality, in million people's reality, Star Wars fans around the world, remember Obi-Wan Kenobi putting his lightsaber up, turning it off, and then that's when Darth Vader, exactly right. He didn't have his lightsaber on when Darth Vader took him away, when he went into the light, if you want to put it that way, turned into the real Jedi light. But he looked at Luke, turned off his his lightsaber, and then Darth killed him. That's exactly how I remember the scene. But as you saw right there, see right there, he never turns it off. He never turns it off. But how do you remember that scene? Was it always on? Or did he turn it off?
If you hurry, you might catch them.
I feel like this movie has just got hit all over the place. The New Hope. I feel like it's just got crushed all over the place because we're going right back to it. And we're going into the scene where Leia, Han, and Luke were stuck in basically the garbage compactor, right? They were in the garbage compactor. The garbage trash, the garbage compactor. But it was never garbage compactor. at all. We remember it being garbage compactor. You can look it up and it says garbage compactor, but that is not what Luke says.
Are you there, sir? 3PO? We've had some problems. Will you gentlemen listen to me? Shut down all the garbage mashers on the detention level, will you? Do you copy? Shut down all the garbage mashers on the...
Turn off the garbage mashers! Turn off the garbage mashers! That's not how I remember it. Like I said, you can look it up. And I remember him saying, CPDO, turn off all the garbage compactors. That's exactly what it is. And you can look it up. If you look it up, you can see YouTube names calling it garbage compactor. That's how I looked it up, was garbage compactor. So, you know, to me, it's always been garbage compactor. But in this reality, it is not. It's garbage masters. He says garbage masters. I can't even say the word, it blows me. Garbage mashers. And I feel like he would have a tongue twister on that because it twisted my tongue. But how do you remember? Was it always garbage mashers or was it garbage compactors? Oh, this one has to do with my great, great, great friend Chewbacca. And I'm talking about the end of actually New Hope in all this. And I'm talking about the end of where they all are gathering up. They're having the ceremony and everybody's receiving a medal. And Chewie no longer gets a medal, which is so odd because I remember Chewbacca getting a medal just like everybody else in there. I remember him leaning down, Leia putting it over his head, and he was so happy about it. And it blows my mind because even in the comic book script, you can see Chewie receiving the medal. It blows me away, but he doesn't receive a medal anymore. As you've seen, he does not receive a medal. But the odd thing about this Mandela Effect and Chewie not receiving the medal is in the last movie that was put out, you know, The Rise of Skywalker. At the end of the movie, he receives his medal. He receives the medal back. Because, you know, that was like a big thing to him. And Leia was, you know, for all that knows, Leia passes away, spoiler alert. But that was an iconic scene. And it makes sense because every artist, every producer, every director in movies always puts everything in the movie that's been in a movie before. It's how it works in sequels. But I always remember Chewie getting a medal. How do you remember it? Did he ever get a medal? Or did he receive that medal? Like we all remember.
Are you all right? What's wrong?
I felt a great disturbance in the Force.
Oh, what better way to end this one with the last one? And you know, since it's May the 4th, we have to go with May the Force be with you. And we're talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi, Luke Skywalker, and the first time you kind of hear that iconic phrase. It's not really the first time, but it's like the second time you hear. It's the first time actually you hear Obi-Wan Kenobi say it. And he tells Luke, like, we remember, may the Force be with you. But that's not the case anymore. Listen.
The Force will be with you. Always. The Force will be with you. Always.
That's right. The Force will be with you always. I've heard it before. They say it all the time in there. But I don't ever remember Obi-Wan Kenobi saying, may the Force be with you always. He always said, may the Force be with you. And then he left, but never the Force is with you always. It blows me away. It rounds me a little bit. And you know, there's many sayings of that. And it's just not right with Obi-Wan Kenobi because I believe, and I so honestly believe deep down in my heart, my mind, that that is the first time Obi-Wan Kenobi tells Luke, may the Force be with you. But how do you remember it? How do you remember that? Did he say it in that iconic scene, may the Force be with you? Or was it always the way it's been now, the Force will be with you always? Oh, I love it. Doing your nut in crazies, man. Y'all, welcome back to the lab. Lee here. Y'all saw that title too as well. We are talking about 8 more music Mandela effects to blow your mind, make you question this reality. If you haven't seen the first part of it, check it out. You see it on the screen right there. Part 4. It was the first part of this whole music Mandela thing that I'm doing. And And we are talking about 8 more today as well. But before we get this going, I want to give you, the viewers, the subscribers, the family, the community members, a big shout out to you because you yourselves have hit over 2,000 subs on this channel. As I looked at it, it is 2012 as I do this video here and there. That is you, man. That is all you. This channel is growing amazingly fast. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep spreading the word out of the truth of truth. Waking up people to the reality that we are living in, many other realities. And man, just spreading good vibes and all. So thank you to each and every one of you. This is y'all, man. So shout out to y'all. But we are talking about 8 music Mandela effects today. Please remember, some of these Mandela effects might not be new to you. They will be new to somebody else, so please respect that. And with any time you do enjoy this, man, please remember to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and leave me your comments down below so we can talk about these 8 and other Mandela effects you'd love to discuss on this channel. So without further ado, let's get this thing moving. Let's start off with a triple banger for you here. Yes, we are doing a triple hitter. I know sometimes people double tap things, but we are tripling it out, and we're going to be talking about the Bee Gees, the Carpenters, and the Eagles. That is correct. Those 3 groups in particular, it is one of those amazing old school time music, still rings to the ears today. My mom used to sing the Carpenters all the time. I remember hearing the Bee Gees all the time, and then the Eagles was just a statement too as well. But as you heard me say their names, the and the is no longer the Eagles, the Beatles, or the Carpenters anymore. Excuse me, Bee Gees, by the way. Excuse me. As you see right here, they have always been Bee Gees. They have always been Carpenters, and they are always been Eagles. That is correct. Eagles, Carpenters, Bee Gees. It blows my mind. It is crazy to me because so many things say the Eagles, the Carpenters, the Bee Gees, but there's little evidence of it. But that's how I remember those 3 wonderful groups, especially the Carpenter, because my mom was a big fan of the Carpenters. But how do you remember that? Do you always remember them being the Eagles, the Bee Gees, or the Carpenters, or from this reality to remember them being the way they are now? Bee Gees, Carpenters, Eagles. Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? But I disagree with what I just said right there. Yes. As you heard me sing that first phrase, sweet dreams are made of these. I don't disagree myself because that is how I remember that whole line, the first verse of that song being in my world. But in this reality, it never was sweet dreams are made of these. Listen.
Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree?
Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world, the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something. I'm looking to where they changed this to these to this. It blows me away. I've heard this flipping back and forth, and I always remember it being these. But, you know, I'm not the only one that also remembers this too as well. Listen.
Sweet dreams are made of these.
Sweet dreams are made of these. That's how I remember it too. That is how I remember it too. But I also have to put this in this auditorial Mandela Effect phenomenon. I know I'm trying to think of a word to make for this. I'm going to get money back. Like, what do we want to call it? But it is an auditorial thing too as well, like brainstorm, needle storm, all that stuff. It is, what do you hear? Is it this or is it these? Is it these or is it this? What are you thinking at the time when you're listening to this? What are you looking out for? What are you paying attention to? And I think that could have an also effect on this too. You know, the auditorial Mandela Effect phenomenon that's within this. You know, I can hear both if I think about it. But I always hear these because in my mind, that's what it is. But how do you remember it? Has it always been to you like it has been in this reality, this? Or are you like me and many of us, including Marilyn Manson, these? My loneliness is killing me. Oh, Yes, we are talking about Britney Spears. Yes, once again, Britney Spears, Britney Spears. And we're going to Hit Me Baby One More Time. In a sense, I think a lot of people are thinking this title is a Mandela Effect, and I'm not quite sure. I think a lot of people remember it being Baby One More Time, not Hit Me Baby One More Time, or if I'm flipping that around, whatever it is. But think about that. But that has nothing to do with the Mandela Effect. This one has to do with her attire. What is she wearing? What is the color of her skirt that she's wearing in this video? What is it? What is it? I know you see it. I know all you teenage guys out there back in the day know exactly what color that thing is. And if you were saying plaid, Lee, she was in that sexy plaid skirt with the little ponytails. Ooh, we always wish we could be in that school. And I'm like, yeah, plaid like Wells. Well, we must have been dreaming in this reality or that reality, because it never was plaid at all. It is completely black. Black as day. They're all wearing black. And I don't get it, because I mean, I understand connecting your colors and everything like that, you know, in the video, but the main one always supposed to stick out, and she had a plaid dress on. It was like white and black, checkered plaid, you know. Plus, that's the whole Illuminati part of the game in the industry kind of thing. But she also has pictures of her in that plaid dress, taking Halloween pictures. All these people, Halloween pictures, and dressing up like that in a plaid dress. It is crazy to me to even think about it. It blows my mind. But how do you remember her dress, her skirt in that video itself? Do you always remember the way it is now in this reality, completely black? She's just dressed up like every other girl in that video? Or are you like me and many of us, teenage girls and boys, remember it being plaid? Let's go Barbie, let's go Barbie. Baby, let's go Barbie, let's go Barbie. Oh, you already know what we're talking about. We're talking about I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. That is correct. Oh, that good old Aqua song. That was like early 2000s rave days in my head. You know, that's long story short there for you. But the Mandela Effect one is this, exactly how I said it, is, you know, a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. That's how I remember it. That's how many of us remember it. But we are all remembering it wrong. I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world. In the Barbie world. It blows my mind, because she was in a Barbie world, not the Barbie world, and it destroys me to the T. Just because in my, the is what, the and A's are one of those Mandela Effect creatures of just habit. They put it in something or they take it out of something, and it's once again in this one, because I always remember it being I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Not I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world. It's just like they placed her there, and it's like this is the world, but it's not, because she was supposed to be in her own little world, let alone she was probably talking about Silicon Valley, but it has nothing else to do about it. How do you remember that phrase? How do you remember it? Do you remember it always being I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world? Or are you from this reality, this timeline, this memory brain, I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world? Billie Jean is not my lover, it's just a girl who says that I am the one. Oh, but the kid is not my son. Oh. Yes, we're talking about Michael Jackson. We're talking about Billie Jean, and we're talking about who told him not to break a woman's heart. I guess, you know, he was told by somebody in his family that he shouldn't do something, right? And in this one is just another one that blows my mind, because I am a Michael fan, just like many others. Well, I'm not going to give it away real quick. Here, you listen.
Don't go around breaking young girls' hearts. And mother always told me, be careful who you love.
Did you hear it? My mother always told me. Yes, mother. Spells it all the way out. Yes, my mother always told me. Be careful who you love. Yes, that is correct. Now, in my reality and many other Michael Jackson Mandelianers, I think I had to trying to put a whole word to it. We always remember that being, my mama always told me, be careful who you love. Yes, my mama, not mother, mama. This blows my mind because this isn't one of those auditorial things. This is a change. They messed with Michael before. They're going to continue to mess with Michael continuously. And it was always, my mama always told me, be careful who you love. Never, 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 never was it. My mother always told me. Mother is just too proper for Michael at the time there. It's just my mama always told me. But how do you remember? Was it always my mama always told me? Or are you like this and always been in this reality? It has never been mama. It has always been mother. Always told me.
Gotta get that. Gotta get that.
More let the beat drop. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Boom, boom, pow. We're talking about boom, boom, pow. Yes, boom, boom, pow. And that line Fergie sings. And it is one of those iconic lines because it was the shit back in the day. And we already know what's going to happen. If you don't, well, here, let me play it for you.
Chickens jacking my style. They try to copy my swagger. I'm on that next now. I'm sold 3008. You sold 2000 and late. I got that boom.
Did you hear it? Did you hear it? I'm so 3008. You so 2000 and late. Man, I'm so 3008. You're so 2000 and late. In my reality, in many realities, it wasn't 3000. It was I'm 2008. You're 2000 and late. That is correct. That is correct. Correct. I'm 2008. You're 2000 and late. That's how I remember it. That is how many of us remember this too as well. And it blows my mind that it's 3008. I feel like they jumped into the future. They're jumping us into the future. They changed something in the world. And I know we can argue this, how it was, you know, she was talking about the future. She was ahead of the time of everybody else. That's why she was so 3008. But she wouldn't be alive. So, I know that makes no sense, but she wouldn't be alive. So, it's 2008. And it was that whole time of this. They were just the shit. So, you know you had to be ahead of time a little bit. But not that far ahead of time. But that's how I remember it. I always remember it being 2008. Never 3008. It blows my mind away. And even Carmen and Butters from South Park even said it. Listen.
I like that boom boom pow. Them chicks be jacking my style. They try and copy my swagger. I'm on that next shit now.
You've got a constant flow of athletes that never dries up, Kyle. And best of all, it's all charity, so it's tax-free.
I know it was a little bit hard to hear because Carmen talking over it, but you did hear him say, I'm 2008. You're so 2008. Oh, it blows my mind. But how do you remember this? Has it always been the way it is in this reality, 3008? Or are you like me and many others that came from a different timeline of reality, 2008? Everything I do it for you. We are talking about Bryan Adams. Yes, Bryan Adams, everything I do. Yes. Now, we're not talking about the song particular. We are talking about the song that was in the movie that was so huge that this song reminds you of the movie. And you already know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Robin Hood. Robin Hood with Kevin Costner. Robin Hood, Robin Hood, Robin Hood. And this song, Everything I Do. And this song, I don't know if this is my own Mandela Effect. Super brought this up too, and it made me think about it because I was like, man, this song is was like this biggest song. This song was the movie song. You know, in your head, you think about it, it was the movie song. And as I'm saying that, and I'm about to tell you, it wasn't the movie song. It wasn't the Robin Hood main movie song at all. It wasn't. And that blows my mind away because I remember this movie. I remember this fucking song from this movie. And I remember this song playing through the movie, you know, because that's how they do shit. That's how they do it. You hear this song and it plays, and it's the biggest part of the soundtrack song. But it was only played towards the end. It was only played at the end, and at the end of that, through the end of credits. That's the only time it was played. It is wild. And there's a YouTube, not a YouTube video, a Facebook video about it that's on there. It's got the video and it shows all the clips from the movie. But I don't understand how it was the biggest song in the movie, but yet was not the main song of the fucking movie. Blows my mind away. What do you think about this? This is crazy to me because it is Kevin Costner. You know they already got him for Field of Dreams. So could it be that once again? Let me know down below. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Hold on. Yes, we were talking about Phil Collins, In the Air, and we were talking about that. You heard me sing it. You heard me sing it. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Yes, yes. I didn't say it there. I said it at the beginning. You can play it back real quick if you want to. Now, how do you remember that? Tell me that as you're thinking about how that, well, listen to this.
I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh Lord,
I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord. Yes, you heard it. Oh Lord. Yes. Oh Lord. Now, many of us in this reality remember it from the old reality being hold on. That is correct. Hold on. Not oh Lord. I don't know about this, blows my mind because every time I hear this song, you know you stick glued to it because you want to hear the you just want to hear it. You want to hear it. That's just you're keen to wanting to hear it. And I believe a lot of us have always sung, hold on, I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Hold on. But now it's oh Lord. It blows me away because it's Phil Collins. He's just awesome. It's just one of those awesome tracks that just resonate just in your childhood. Every time you hear it, you have to hear that part, like I said. But how do you remember it? Has it always been to you, oh Lord? Or are you from a different reality, like I'm from this different reality? Hold on. Oh, you got to love it. You gotta love it. 8 more music Mandela effects to make you question this reality, boggle your mind, make you just understand that anything in this world can be changed. Anything is possible, and nothing is impossible or improbable. It always can be done. It is crazy. It is crazy myself. Like I said before, if you enjoyed this at any time, please remember to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and leave me your messages and comments down below so we can talk about these and others you would love to discuss. With that, too, again, shout out to you once again. Thank you for all the love. Thank you for the support. And thank yourselves for getting over 2,000 subs on the channel. We are moving within the year. We are going crazy. We're going to go to 2 to 10 to 25. You know how it works. Let's do it. Let's get it there. Also, remember, ladies and gentlemen, to keep your mind open because those eyes will see everything in front of you. Y'all stay crazy.
I think I heard a shot. I think I heard a shot.